My name's Lorraine, and you're at my channel, Shanebrook Cottage. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm so sorry I missed you last week, but I'm here this week and we're going to talk all about quilting. I had a binding palooza. I got lots of things done. I have one epic fail that's not done, and I'm trying to decide what to do with it next. I have some exciting projects I want to start on. So I really need to get these older projects I've been working on fully finished, all done, so I can start play with some new fun fabric. So if you are new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I truly appreciate you guys, and I enjoy the comments very much, and I look forward to talking with you each week while we visit. So let's just get started. Let me show you first my finished quilts that I did. Fully finished, done. They're ready to leave the house. So I'm just gonna zoom in on the binding because I've showed the quilt before, but I guess I don't get tired of showing it off because I think it's so beautiful. But I got this one bound, and I used some rickrack, as you can see, in the binding. It turned out really pretty. Oops, I got a loose thread. Always loose threads. Let me clip that while we're looking at it. So I did not put my my ticking fabric on the bias. I just did it straight, so my stripes are vertical instead of on an angle, which I like. And machine bound. I'm not sure, like I used what I had. Let me get it and show it to you. So I used some Aleene's glue, and I have it upside down in a jar, kind of like how Vanna Pfeiffer does her big wampin jar of or bottle of glue. I used some Aleene's tacky glue. I'm not sure if I should have used that. I know that you can use for sure, you can use like white Elmer's glue or like a glue stick, but I didn't have that, so I used what I had. What I did is I stitched it down, pulled it to the back. Well, let's see, how did I do that? Oh no, this one's reversed because I've got rickrack in it. How did I do that? Now I'm confusing myself. Oh, I know what I did. First thing I did was I basted the rickrack all the way around because I wanted to bind it in a traditional way where you pull the binding to the back instead of the front. So I tacked the rickrack down all the way around. Then I attached the binding, the 2.5 inch strip binding, to the front of my quilt, and then I pulled it to the back. Where the glue comes in is when I pulled it to the back, I ran a bead of glue underneath where the binding's going to land, put the binding over it, heat set it with the iron, and then I came back and used a stitch in the ditch foot and a really heavy needle, like a 90-14 quilting needle, so I could punch through all those layers. Works great. My only question is I don't know if the glue's going to wash out. Like if you use Elmer's glue, which I've done before, it just comes out in the laundry. It's like no big deal. I don't know if the Aleene's glue is going to stay hard and tacky, so don't necessarily use Aleene's glue unless you know it's going to work. I would feel bad if you did it because I did it, so I'm not really sure if it's like, I don't know if it's going to cause problems down the road. But anyway, it held everything in place. It looks awesome and phenomenal. I'm so very happy. Okay, so this one, I did took it and long armed it myself. There's a little sheep. And I may have mentioned last time that I got off a little bit, like matching up where my sheep were supposed to land when I came, like when I was starting a new row. So there's a couple little spots where it's like, but anyway, it's done. This binding, I did not use any rickrack on, and I used the exact same fabric I had purchased for the back for my binding, just to give it a simple cohesive look. But I did do the same thing with the Aliens glue. Then I you know, stitched it down like you normally would. Nothing earth-shattering on this one. I did get some really nice mitered corners though, and I really enjoyed my stitch in the ditch foot. I did use a thread color that blends in well, so it's not in your face. So that one's done. And I don't know if I showed this one, but this one, the binding is done as well. Same thing, same technique, just no rickrack. And this one, I used the color that would blend in the front the most, so it didn't show as I stitched in the ditch, so I've got a little contrast on the back. So that one, so 3 done. They're ready. I'm gonna fill out my entry form this weekend, over the 4th of July weekend. Now the other one, the epic fail, was the one, I'm so spoiled because I wanted to take this and do it on the long arm, but I just decided to do it at home to save some money. So I already trimmed it up and everything, and then and I have only half of the, I'm doing a 1-inch crosshatch, so I've got half of it done. And I trimmed it up because I had a good bit hanging off and I had lots of loose thread, so I thought, oh, I'll just trim it up before I do the other side. Well, I wasn't paying very close attention, and if I have any photos on my phone of my boo-boos, multiple, I'll show them. But basically, I had to rip like from here. You can see where the quilting's been removed. I had multiple wrinkles in the back, and there's still one right there. And as I was trying to fix some little piecemeal, like I'd pick it out and then I'd try to resew, and it was just getting messy. So it kind of went in timeout yesterday. I was feeling, I don't normally get frustrated with projects, and probably my level of frustration with it is probably super low compared to somebody else, but I just like, I don't know, I don't get that upset. But I was upset yesterday. So it went in timeout. And I've decided what I need to do is completely pull out the whole area. That way I have a nice smooth start and finish, and I'm not trying to, I don't want any back stitching, double stitching on the quilting, because the idea is to enter this as my wall hanging piece. And Steve had some wise words of wisdom yesterday. He said, what's the biggest thing that could happen? Excuse me, what's the worst thing that could happen if you don't get it done? I'm like, nothing. I can always enter it next year as long as I, you know, finish it in the year that I enter it. He's like, so just set it aside. And so I took some wise words from my husband and set it aside. But I hope next time you see me that I do persevere, I finish picking it out, and I re-quilt those areas. Where I went wrong, probably a couple things, just a couple tips. I am using, hold please. Okay, so what I use, let me find the foot that I use. Is it on my machine? No. Okay. Here's the foot that I used, and I wanted to use this one because I can, all I had to do was mark the one diagonal, the 145-degree angle going from one corner to the other, and stitch that line and use that with a friction heat erasable pin. Then going forward, I could follow my previous stitching line with this little guide. And so this is 1 inch. And so part of the wrinkles probably came into play because I didn't use a walking foot, because for my walking foot, I don't have a guide like this. And so my fabric was probably feeding unevenly. What I should have done, because each time I did a row, you know, I cut the thread, I pulled off the machine, and I turned the quilt so I was working from the middle out on both sides for this reason, to make sure that I was pushing the fabric if there was any give to the outer edges. What I should have done is every couple rows, I should have flipped it over, taken a close look, maybe ran an iron over it to make sure I didn't have any puckerings going. But I was just like rocking and rolling and watching the Flosstube and all that. It did not even dawn on me to check it until it was like how it is. So that is my tip, is to check your quilt if you're quilting it on your domestic machine at home. If you have any tips for me, I would greatly appreciate them, because I am, you know, learning as I go. So if you have any great tips for me, other than using my walking foot, which would have fed that fabric through there better, let me know. I also wanted to show you, back up a little bit, here is a stitch in the ditch foot. Don't know if you can see, let me hold a piece of paper behind it. See how it has a little metal guide there? And so that metal guide, you put in the quote unquote ditch, and your needle's just going to be right next to it. So it gives you a nice accurate seam going all the way around on those bindings. Really great little tool. And then one more thing I want to show you is a true patchwork foot. Very nice acrylic foot. And you can see where everything is hitting, since it's a see-through foot, and it is a true 1/4 inch. And these feet go to my Singer Quantum Stylus. What is it, 9960? If you're looking for a middle of the road affordable sewing machine, I love it. I can't say enough good things about it, and I try to give it a plug each time. I don't know why. I'm not sponsored by Singer. I mean, if they would like to, yay, but no, I just really like it, and I think it's a great price point. So that was my Quilting Palooza. So let's talk about what is on deck. What is my next project's going to be as far as quilting? I know an immediate project I need to do, and this kind of rolls into haul, is my bonus daughter is having her second baby here in August, and the baby shower is now a couple weeks away in July. So I saw this panel that is super dear. I saw it on the Fat Quarter Shop's website. Isn't that dear? And I actually didn't buy it on the Fat Quarters website because I was too slow. I put it in my shopping cart, and then when I went to check out, it was already sold out. So then my little heart pitter-pattered, and I was worried I wasn't going to get it. So I found an Etsy seller, and I wanted to share her store with you guys because it came super fast. It's called Cindy's Fabric Boutique. That's it, Cindy's Fabric Boutique. Do a search for her on Etsy. Came beautifully wrapped, fast, exactly as described. And then this is the backing I'm going to use, which Fat Quarter Shop did have in stock, so I got this coordinating fabric. And the reason why I chose Peter Rabbit, not only is it adorable, we're having another little boy, but Peter Rabbit lives in the briar patch. And she has decided to name the little guy Briar. So I was gonna do a little play on that, Peter Rabbit, and then I got this little book to go with it off of Amazon. It's like one of those little kitty board books where they can just chew on it or whatever with their little, can't rip the pages. So I need to get crack-a-lackin'. I need to figure out if I'm going to finish this in time to enter in the fair, to get my fair entry done and get it turned in, or not. And I definitely need to get this done. So this is definitely on the agenda for the 4th of July weekend. Speaking of the 4th of July weekend, I hope when you see this video, it will be the day after, because the 4th is on Thursday and I'll upload this on Friday. So I hope that you have had a beautiful, restful holiday weekend if it's kicking off your weekend. I am getting, and Steve's getting 4 days off in a row. They were planning on that at his work. Mine was, we were only gonna have Thursday off and go back to work on Friday. So they did something kind of kind, but it's a little bit of a struggle for me, is they offered us the opportunity as a team, like everybody had to agree on it, that we could work 3 10-hour days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They'd pay us Thursday for 10 hours. And then, am I doing that right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're working 10. So yes, that's 30. And then they're paying us 10 hours for Thursday. And then of course, Friday would be without pay, but the idea is you wouldn't be working because you've already got your 40 hours in. So, you know, I never really chimed in and gave my thoughts, you know, because I don't have kids at home and I don't want to be that person that makes everybody get up early if they don't need to. Well, they all decided that that was a great idea, that we are going to work from, or we are working, we did today, from 6 a.m. to 4:30. Usually we're in there at 7:30. So it was darn early to get up and be there by 6. But it'll be worth it when Thursday rolls around, Thursday, Friday. And then we couldn't, Monday is usually our work from home day, but they said no, or not they, like our supervisor. I don't know why, she just was like, no, we're gonna work in the office, when other teams were not. They still had their remote day today. But, you know, obviously got to respect her decision. I'm sure, you know, she had a reason for it, whatever. So we were there today, and boy, it was a long day. So anyway, so that though teased me up really, really great, because I'll have 4 days off. Hopefully I can get a lot of quilting done, a lot of sewing, also some cross stitching. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a little drink. That is next on the agenda. Then my next project I am so excited about. And I'm so sorry, I don't remember if I shared this stuff with you guys. I was hoping by filming more often I would remember what I showed you, but I don't. And I have one of those brains that just sometimes, like, it can't remember anything. So anyway, I did want to just share this just in case I didn't, because this is on the agenda. This is a Riley Blake free pattern. I got the panel and the fabric to make a Smokey the Bear quilt. And this quilt is going to be for our friends that invited us to go away. And that's why I think I already showed this to you, but they invited us to go to their cabin a few weeks ago, and it was so much fun. And now they invited us to come back and go again in the fall. So hopefully we'll get to see elk this time. So, but the fall should be really pretty. So I want to get this done and gifted to them, ready to gift it to them when we go up to their camp in the fall. So that's on the list. So that's that. Then I'm gonna pause, just talk amongst yourselves. So I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna go grab something. Okay, I'm back. Now, I know my last video, which was cross stitch focused, it was named something to the effect of less shopping, more stitching, which I'm truly going to definitely work towards, because I have more things than I could probably accomplish in I don't want to say a lifetime, God willing, knock on wood, that I'll live, you know, another 50 plus years. Wouldn't that be awesome? But I do need to slow down on what's coming into the house and make what I have, because I'm excited about all the projects, but I don't want to get so many of them. So anyway, so this I had already. The Hey Boo layer cake, the web pattern, and the panel you need to do the pattern. Well, what I didn't have, and I ordered and received, was the fabric. And I ordered a ton. So I got, when I say a ton, like there's, I don't know, 7.5 yards of this one, and I don't even remember, maybe 3 yards of this one. Because one, I want to make sure I have enough, but two, I think these will be great, the leftover, great stash for Halloween. I mean, you can't go wrong with a black web, and like, I love this pinky purple color for Halloween as well. And so I believe I got this for my backing, and no, I don't know where my notes are. And I think I got this for my background and maybe the binding or the border. I don't remember. I'll have to look and see what I did. But anyway, so this is on deck after Peter Rabbit, and probably about the same time I work on Smokey the Bear, because Smokey the Bear I think will go easy and fast, and I think this one's going to be fast as well. I think the hardest part is just going to be cutting down the yardage, where Smokey the Bear is, you know, already in the right amount of cuts. My little box broke. So anyway, so I want to do those, and I do still have, definitely this weekend, so this weekend, Peter Rabbit. So you're going to see Peter Rabbit next time. I am going to continue cutting pieces on my tumbler flag quilt, because it is the 4th of July weekend, and I really want a patriotic flag, so I want to work on that. And let me set that there. Then I just want to show you also this cute little, look at this little box, this little decorative lunch type pail I got at the thrift store. And you may ask, well, how is this related to quilting? Let me show you. I have put in here my supplies for when I go and rent the long arm. So I got my zippers stuffed in there. I shoved a pin cushion into this little ball jar so I could have these long pins. So I'm not poking myself. They're just all nice and neat in there. I have a cone of thread, a pencil, a snipper, and just some clips. These came in like a Valentine's box from Fat Quarter Shop. Mostly just to mark the corner, what I would consider my top corner. So I make sure I line my quilt up in the long arm machine the way I want it to go in, for my pattern to lay the way I want it, if necessary. So I thought that was just cute. And let's see if I can get everything shoved back in here. I got my little instructions too. Look what came in the mail today. See, this, at first I was like, oh, I feel down, I'm tired, I don't want to film. And then I'm like, but I love talking to you guys, because like when I talk to you guys and I put this out in the universe, like you talk back to me, and it's so cool. So I got this in the mail today. This is where I rent my long arm from. They're a Bernina dealer. I don't have a Bernina machine. I'm not that fancy. But here, I ripped out the page. Here's the machine that I rent time on. I love it so much. The Q24 with the Pro Frame Q-Matic for the low price of $41,498 or $650 a month. For how many months? 72 months. Holy cow. And the last time I was in, the girl, I was like, I really like, there's a couple steps I'm still like really struggling on. And I was like, I really just like, I don't mind like us taking a little extra time just to make sure like I want to be able to do it myself. So like 10 years from now, I don't feel like a goober, like still having you help me, you know, pick out the stuff and do it all. She's like, oh, 10 years from now, you better have your own machine. I'm thinking, for $650 a month, I'm not spending $650 a month on rental fees. So, yeah, I'm okay renting. I'm okay. But anyway, I thought that was kind of ironic. I was thinking about filming a quilt tube, Flosstube, and then that came in the mail. So the other thing that I'm seriously thinking about possibly jumping into is Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs and her friend Shelly from Antique Needleworkers got together and have decided to do a quilt along of a EPP grandmother's flower garden pattern. Let me pop in a picture here of what I'm talking about. It'll be just a screenshot from Carrie's video of today that I did watch. I have tried EPP a couple times on 2 different little small projects. I abandoned them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm like very intrigued. I would love to add that to my set of skills, but I'm thinking, would I, that time that I would spend, you know, the slow stitching of basting the hexagons together, would that be time taken away from cross stitching? Because that's what I do in the evening for my slow hand stitching while Steve and I, you know, visit or watch TV together. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of excited. I watched her video, and how can you not be excited watching Carrie? She is just like so bubbly, so fun. She just makes me want to do like all the things. So I was thinking about it driving home from work. And if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, I want to say, because she was kind of like giving some rough math on her video, but you can go to her Patreon, which is free, which I haven't done yet, and you can download the rough math. So I want to say she said something about 30 fat quarters. Well, remember I bought this bundle? How could you forget? I love this so much. And I don't have plans for it. I just wanted to stare at it and enjoy how beautiful it is. But I was thinking, Grandmother's Flower Garden. This is called, I don't know what this is called. I don't have my glasses on. To Grandmother's House. You know, it's a Little Red Riding Hood theme. And it has all those beautiful colors. And their quilt had like green for the outside. And so I could order more green for my, I don't know what you call it, the outside of the quilt. So I'm thinking about it. What are your thoughts? Any of you EPPers out there? Do you guys want to join me if I try it? Do you want to try it with me? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Go check out Carrie's video. Are you going to enable me to try another? I mean, it's still in the same genre, right? It's quilting, but it's just a little different. So that's kind of been thinking about, because I feel like a lot of these prints are small scaled, and they'd be perfect for fussy cutting. You know, just get like that little Red Riding Hood or grandma or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, wouldn't that be adorable? Just adorable. So that's a thought. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Then the last bit of news we have is the Pass the Stash from last time, which was 18 pieces of 10-inch squares, and I think they were from Layla Boutique. And so the person from Pass the Stash, the keyword is flowers. I will insert the random comment picker here as it does its little magic. And the person that it picked was Linda Skinner 5887. So Linda, please send me an email at ShanebrookCottage@gmail.com. I'll put it here at the bottom of the screen so you can spell it. because it's a little bit of a long name, and just send me your shipping address. The only thing that I did ask when I put it up was that you had a US mailing address and that you were 18 or older. So if you fall into that category, you're at least 18, which based on my demographics, my analytics on YouTube, we are all well over 18 on this on this little get together here. And yeah, and let me know and I'll get that out in the mail. And speaking of getting out in the mail, if you have one, I don't know if the word's one, if I'm passing the stash for you on a couple things and you're waiting, I'm thinking specifically my last Flosstube video, I apologize. I have not got that in the mail. The local post office closes before I get off work. Even on the days I get off by 4, they roll up the sidewalk in Littlestown, right? I know, as you know, they roll up the sidewalk there and like they're closed. And I have a Gettysburg address, but I live way farther away from the Gettysburg post office than the Littlestown post office. So anyway, this is my dilemma. So Saturdays when I go to Hanover to shop or whatever, they have a postal place there, not the post office, but like a service. And I like dropping my packages there because they're open. Well, I go to Hanover to get my groceries. Specifically, I told my mom, I was like, hey, let's go to, because we were going to shop during the week, but the barn got delivered and all this and that. I was like, let's go to Hanover. I have stuff to mail. Guess who went to Hanover and didn't bring her stuff with her? Sorry. So sorry. So please forgive me for being a scatterbrain and forgetting to mail that to you, but rest assured I will get that to you. And then for this video, I don't have a Pass the Stash to share. I apologize. I just don't have any goodies put together, but hopefully in a future video I will. So if you've made it this far, you are a champ. You're a sweetheart. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me share. You can tell because I'm like, when I'm looking, I'm like smiling and I'm like, I love this so much. I love this so much. So thank you. Have a great week. Have a great 4th, or when you watch this, you've already had a great 4th of July. I hope that your weekend is wonderful and amazing and that it is not humid. It is so humid here. Like, oh, so humid. I was going to say what popped in my head was and I'm just rambling, the Floss Boss and Cousins. I don't remember which cousin said it, but she had said in one of her videos that it's like the devil's armpit. And I lost it. I was like, and I know they're in the South. I can't even, there's no way that I would live below the Mason-Dixon line because no, it is hot enough where I'm at. I can't handle it. And I was thinking that is spot on because that is how it is felt here. We're expecting all of this week, all of next week in the 90s. And I'm feeling pretty jealous that we don't have a pool. We don't have a pool. We don't have a pool pass. We don't have a buddy that has a pool. Not that I'm a huge swimmer, but darn, it's hot. Anyway, guys, bye. I will see you next video. Will be all about Flosstube, cross stitching. I have at least one fully finished item, or one finished item that I finished last night. I have a new start. I dyed some fabric, and so there's a lot of exciting things going on with my cross stitching. Talk to you later. Bye.